Go. Hello, everybody. We are all three of us are back today.
We've got, of course, got Calvin back on the show. I know Calvin has actually broken off the podcast with that real quick. So I don't want to describe it since your thing, but
yeah. So I started a podcast called Whitman, where basically I interview high-profile high school athletes. We talk about anything from recruiting, training, to balancing life and sports. So I've had some big interviews. Anthony Merlot is the left tackle from my school, Fraser High School in Michigan. He's going to Northern Michigan. I got Brady Drogos on the show. Into Cincinnati. I got this week back from the Youngstown State. So I've got some big time guests, and I got some big time guests coming up. So
nice. It's a good podcast. So that being said, we are back this year. We are rolling out the preseason college football content. There's NBA. All that stuff is over. We're in the MLB season, but this is really, for me at least, the season where I start getting ready, hearing about training camps, getting ready for some college football. So we're doing our fantasy draft again. I do not have the numbers on last year, but I'm still 99% sure Mitch killed all with his Georgia and Michigan.
Well, Calvin was not participating last year. It was Sam last year.
Calvin was not participating. This is Calvin's first year. And
it is.
Rookie of the year.
You only rookie, so you have to win it.
And then I'm the defending champ.
He's a defending champ, and then I'm just here. Okay, so we did the draft order. I did a random number generator 10 times, took the most overall numbers. I promise this was not rigged. I ended up with the number 1 pick this year. Calvin at 2, Michigan at 3. But last year, Mitch won the championship with pick number 3, so that tells you a lot. But we're going to get this rolling. I'm going to go ahead and explain it again real quick to those who don't remember. We have, everyone has to pick one of the Power 5 teams. You have to pick a Big 10, ACC, Big 12, Pac-12, and SEC team. You have to pick 3 group of 5 teams, and then you get 2 wild cards, so a team of around 10 teams. And how scoring works is wins are 1 point, covering the spread is another point, and then college football playoff berths are an extra point, or an extra 2 point. No, an extra point. Bowl game berths are 1 point. No, I'm sorry. College football playoffs are 2 points, and then a college football playoff win is 2 points, and a bowl game win is 1 point. Makes sense? And if you're the champion, you just get 4 points because you win 2 college football playoff games, which greatly helps in this. So that being said, we are going to get this started with the number 1 pick. We're taking Alabama. I don't think that was. Yeah. I don't think that was really a question mark. I think they're always going to be at least one of the top 3 teams. I think they're probably the best again. Nick Saban's amazing. Never going to stop churning out talent at Alabama. So give me Alabama against everybody. So I would take Alabama with my number 1 pick. Again, pretty solid plans right now. I'm very interested to see what Calvin does with this number 2 pick.
Okay. Every part of me wants to pick turning a lot of their good players on that defense. Turning defensive tackle, they're turning some linebackers. I just don't know how much I trust that offense with slightly defense. Like this year, and I don't know if I trust them to be that good this year. And I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go. Let's say hate to do it.
Last year.
Stroud's gonna come.
Doesn't surprise me.
Gonna come out with Heisman candidate. They got some big returning Rose Bowl. Of what? Down to some talkie.
Fair enough. I took them with the number 2 pick last year. You know, it was the 1 year that Ohio State, the big was the year that I picked Ohio State. So, of course that happens, but I was okay with Ohio State not being Big 10, obviously. So, we're going to Mitch with our 3rd overall pick.
And so we are doing this snake draft style, of course. So yeah, I have back to back once again on the 3rd overall pick, and it'll be interesting. Actually, never mind. I know what I'm doing. Give me USC from the Pac-12. This USC team is absolutely loaded from top to bottom with the amount of transfers this team has gotten, along with Lincoln Riley as a brand new head coach. I am very high on the Trojans this year. I think this is the return of the great USC Trojans. I think this is the year they break out. They'll blow everybody out in the Pac-12 pretty much, except for like Utah and a couple others. I think this is going to be a great year for the Trojans. I am very high on them this year. So that's my first pick. Um, Other than that, it'll be interesting who I take with the other one. No, you know what? I'll be stupid. I'm gonna go with Michigan. They are the next best team in the Big Ten. Um, they do have a really good offense. Still, I'm very impressed still with their offense. I think their offense is still going to be very good, but it's going to depend on how well the defense plays. Because in my opinion, the Big Ten East is probably going to be either Ohio State or Michigan. I mean, Michigan State I think is a dark horse for the division, but I think it's either going to be the.
Why do you say about my Spartans?
The thing about Michigan State, in my opinion, is without Kenneth Walker, it could be very difficult for the Spartans because Kenneth Walker was so good for Michigan State, and he killed every single team he went against, including the Wolverines. I mean, he was dominant, and that's why Michigan State was in so many games. They were so awesome with Kenneth Walker. And I know they do get both that Colorado transfer and the Wisconsin transfer. I don't know if those two are going to add up to Kenneth Walker's success. It's very difficult to add up to what he did last year. I'm just saying.
Something to say.
That save my counter argument for when I pick Michigan State. Is that the question? Do I say? I'm going to save it. Okay, so it's my pick, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go. This might be a weird pick. I'm gonna pick Clemson.
Okay.
The ACC is wide open and like that division. Like Pitt, a lot of the guys graduated. Like Jordan Madison over to USC. Virginia is one of the only teams I see giving out like compensation, but even I think just the talent that Clemson has.
So I now have my first second pick on the scoop just before. This is the one thing I knew they would come back to me because I knew he was going to take USC. So I am going to take Utah as a Pac-12. I think they're the clear front runners with USC. I think it's Utah and USC. Cam Rising is fun. The defense is going to be a little bit worse. My big thing that I like Utah is Utah has USC at home. That's that being said. So I'm going to go. And it gets hard because I feel like I can against the value of the conference. That means I am going to take their Cats. I think they are the front runner for the Group of Five conference. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs again. I don't think they will because. So I think that was a huge one. No, that'd be a decent. But it's going to take a lot for them to get back in the college football playoffs.
It's going to take that and more regular. One year, not close. It's going to be even tougher with the.
That being said, they're going to wait before covering both teams. A lot of points. I don't think it's college football playoff game my third round pick, but I think if goes into Cincinnati, so Calvin, what do you think about?
Okay. I think there are a bunch of SEC teams I could have picked, but I'm.
Dang it! Come on.
Did they get the LSU transfer, the quarterback?
Yeah, they got
They got.
what the heck is his name? I'm forgetting. Oh, Max Johnson. That was his name. Max Johnson.
Yeah, they got Max Johnson and Max Johnson's brother. They had
Ridiculous class.
talent's there. There, kind of see how this plays out, but I think the ceiling is ridiculous on a loaded conference.
So, also, New Year's so.
Crap. I wanted A&M. All right. Well, since Kelvin took my SEC team, I'll go with the other SEC team, and I'll take Georgia. They're not winning the. I don't think they're winning the championship this year. But this is still a good Georgia team, as Calvin said earlier. They are returning still some of their defense. Obviously, a lot of it went to the NFL, and they also lost their top two receivers. Both George Pickens and Jermaine Burton have left the program, with Pickens going to the NFL and Jermaine Burton transferring to Alabama. So I still think Georgia is probably the front runner for the SEC East, because there's not really anyone else in the East except for Florida, and they're going through a coaching change, and I don't know what they're going to be like this year. So I think Georgia is still the front runner for the SEC East. And other than that, I am gonna take a chance on Oklahoma State from the Big 12. I was thinking about Oklahoma in this scenario, but Oklahoma State, they're still returning Spencer Sanders, who they're still returning, I think, most of their defense from last year, which was number one in sacks, and really most their team was honestly solid last year. So I thought about Oklahoma, but once again, Oklahoma has their own coaching issues right now, as they're going through their own coaching change and upheaval of the program, with Lincoln Riley jumping to USC. And so I'm not really so sure on what Oklahoma is going to be like this year. But Oklahoma State head coach has a very good head coach, has good players. They have a base that I'm very comfortable with. So I'm taking Oklahoma State out of the Big 12.
Fair enough.
I haven't picked Big 12.
You have not, no. Well, I took the first Big 12 team.
That conference pick because I like the teams in terms of like what they offer. I don't think Big 12 is going to be a very good conference this year. I think the talent there is not like in comparison to is there. But I'm on one because touched up on. I'm hesitant, but I gotta go Baylor.
Mm.
Gotta go Baylor.
All right, I'm going to my wild card. I'm going to take the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Great team. I mean, Notre Dame's always going to be good. USC tricky, but I don't know. Actually, I haven't really looked at their schedules. So I don't know if they have a hard schedule, but
They actually
hard of the schedules.
They honestly have they have some difficult opponents. They got the Buckeyes, they have USC, Clemson.
Notre Dame. I thought Marcus players coach. He's gonna fire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Notre Dame. Now I'm deciding. I guess I'll finish my fifth round with my. I think I'll take the Valley and I'll take the Big 12 team first. And I'll take the other Big 12 team, Oklahoma. I figured I was just gonna take whatever of those three Big 12 teams came back to me, I was gonna take. So I figure I'll take them now because I feel like somebody could snag that with the Wild, and I would be utterly screwed in the Big 12 at that point. So I'll take Oklahoma with my fifth round pick. So let's go to Calvin.
I'm going MSU. MSU is Walker. saying that's like losing Hayward, of course. Who's broken every record for back there. There's one of the scout running back. We've seen time and time again they like I don't know out of something. I don't know exactly.
I think it was some off-field problems or something like that.
With that, puts him back in shape. They have, like, in my opinion, are going to be very good this year. Coleman is a freshman. They got freshmen that are great. Tight end, they got Malik Carr, who's going to be in my like. If he can, thing is, he could be the best tight end in the Big Ten. I'm convinced. Like, my talking, offensive line is going to be a problem this year. I think it's going to be a big problem if we don't get another transfer portal guy. Because, like, one guy gets hurt, we're screwed. Because we have no depth in the offensive line. But, on the other side of things, I think the defensive line could be very talked about in the like it's not going to get any worse. Like,
I don't think it can.
Not the in college because of like the amount of attempts passing that kind of inflates the numbers. But at the same time, it was not good. It was probably the worst Power 5. But because of their run game, people just pass against them or their run defense. And then the linebackers, like, were overflowing with talent at linebacker. Darius Snow was just switched over to linebacker from slot corner. We got 2 incoming transfers. One from Mississippi State, Aaron Brewer, or whatever you pronounce his name. He was an NFL prospect this last year before he kind of had an off season and didn't play well. And then we got Jacoby Whitman from one of those Texas schools that he put up crazy tackle numbers, like top in the country, and then he was a great edge rusher off the edge. So I'm really excited about the Spartan team. This is as excited as I've been for a while, and we're seeing it in the recruiting. Like Mo Tucker knows what he's doing. So
I was debating taking Michigan State away from you, but I was like,
if you would have done that, I would have left you on the spot. I would have been like, okay, I've done my job here.
Mitch, you're gonna take your 5th pick, and then we're gonna do a quick recap before we start the 6th round.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm thinking about doing maybe another actually not another, but doing an ACC team just to lock up somebody so that when I'm guessing more will be taken, I actually have like somebody at least. I don't even know who to take because Calvin already took Clemson, and there's not really much else outside of Clemson. So I'm gonna go back to my Group of 5 team last year, and I'm gonna take San Diego State. They had a solid year. They actually had a really solid year last year. They very much surprised me with how good they were. I think I was actually last year I was debating between like them and Nevada for like which one I'd take, and I'm like, oh, San Diego State has more home games. I'll go with them. And they ended up having a like 12-2 year, I think, or something like that. They had an outstanding season. This year, once again, I mean, I think they'll probably compete for the top of the Mountain West, probably with Boise State. I know their early season they are playing Utah, I believe, so that'll be a difficult game. But this San Diego State team is solid. They did graduate their quarterback, but they're bringing in Braxton Burmeister from Virginia Tech as a transfer quarterback. So we'll see how he pans out for the Aztecs. But hey, they're a solid team.
Jeff for Brady Hope.
Yeah, that's the lone minus about them.
And we will do a quick recap here. I have taken Alabama with my 1st pick. And then I have taken Utah out of the Pac-12 with my second, Cincinnati out of the group of 5 with my third, Notre Dame as my wild card, and my 5th pick was Oklahoma. Calvin has taken Ohio State out of the Big Ten with the number 1 pick. Then he had the first round pick. Then he has Clemson out of the ACC, Texas A&M out of the SEC, Baylor out of the Big 12, and Michigan State as his wild card. USC 1, Michigan number 2, Georgia, Oklahoma State, and San Diego State rounding out 4 and 5. And now we start the 6th round with Mitch.
Yes, so I am back up again, and I have no idea what to do.
You take one of those higher group of 5 teams too, or you could take a good team.
There's a lot of different ways I could go with this pick, and I'm just trying to figure out which way I should go.
This is where it gets dicey.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It gets dicey.
I remember last year I had Texas A&M as like a really late pick, and I mean that was solid. Maybe I can find maybe I can find a gem like that again.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is there? I'm
No.
not sure if you. Okay.
I feel like if you upset though, I could, but if you upset, that means you.
Top 10 upset.
But I mean, if you upset, that means you covered the spread. Point. So if you do upset, it's not an extra point because you upset a good team, but you would cover the spread of that.
So if you lose to a good team, you still cover the spread. So like maybe just consider it, but like A&M beat Alabama last year. That should get like versus A&M extra points or something like that.
I'll think about that for sure. That's a good idea. This is very rough. So, all right, have you figured out where you're going with your 6th round pick?
Yes, I am. I'm going to the ACC. I'm taking actually Miami, Florida. Miami, Florida has Mario Cristobal as the new head coach. Former alumni, of course, coming out of Oregon, coming to Miami, Florida, his old roots. I think Miami, Florida is gonna turn a page. They are playing Texas A&M early in the year, so that'll be rather rough. But out of the Coastal, there's a lot of teams that are all going through different coaching changes, including Virginia Tech. North Carolina, not really high on them. Duke's trash. I forget what Pitt's the other team in the Coastal. And so I really think it's going to be between Miami, Florida, or Pitt for that side of the division. I like Tyler Van Dyke as the quarterback. He is very good. Miami does have some players around him, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a solid year for Miami, Florida. I don't know if they'll win that side of the division, but we'll see. I think it's either them or Pitt. I'm taking Miami, Florida, as I think Mario Cristobal will bring some life into the program.
I'm kind of Van Dyke, so I like Tyler Van Dyke, so that's a good pick. All right, Calvin, your 6th round pick.
I'm going to make this one Oregon with whatever accent you use. I don't like Oregon, but I need a Pac-12 team, and I don't trust any other team in that division. I figured. So, but there's a lot of good players, coach. So we'll see how they do. But I just needed a Pac-12 team.
Fair enough. My big board still lives.
Arizona State or Arizona just to make you mad, but.
Or Arizona State.
I would never take Arizona. Arizona State, maybe. Arizona, no.
Mine, but you did not with my 6th round pick. I'm going to take Brandon Shaw and the Virginia. I love Brendan Armstrong. I don't think this is the best team. In Miami might be better, but schedule. Look at this is their schedule, which road games are usually tricky. Illinois, Syracuse, Duke, Georgia Tech, and Virginia Tech. Pretty on the road. They get Miami. That is a very favorable Virginia schedule for them. So that's why I'm going to take. I don't know if both of them are going to get back to me. cards.
2.
Okay.
I think out of the way. I think I'm gonna, because if I don't get them, I don't think there's a good chance in that division. I'm gonna take with my 7th round pick. I'm gonna take Wisconsin, just because the West is a lot easier. I think their toughest is, besides at Ohio State, which is a guarantee. Which I still think they can win, but everybody else they pretty much have at home. So I think they're the best team in the West. My cat just walked in here. This is the best team in the West, and the West is a pretty easy schedule. So I'm going to take Wisconsin and pray that my other team comes back. All right. What is your 7th round pick, Calvin?
My 7th, my first.
Okay, didn't make it 1 pick.
Coming off a great season, returning the majority of Isaiah Likely, tight end. He's good. Defensive player. Not using the team. I like what they're doing over there, and they're returning their quarterback. 5 team.
Fair enough. Mitch, who are you taking?
All right. So I still have quite a bit of some group of 5 teams to take. So
2 group of 5 and 2 wild.
yeah, so I really can do pretty much whatever I wanted right now. So I'm actually going to go. Where do I want to go? Well, actually, I'll just stick with the ACC. I did take Miami, Florida, but I'm just gonna take an insurance pick, and I'm gonna go with Pitt. They don't have, of course, Jordan Addison, and of course, they also lost Kenny Pickett to the NFL. But this Pitt team still has some good players. Of course, they're bringing in Keaton Slavis over from USC. That's a solid quarterback. So they still have some good players coming in. They're just not as good as they were last year. So between Miami, Florida, and Pitt, they should have a solid overall team. It doesn't matter of which one ends up winning that side of the division. So I'm going to go with the 2 of them just to give me some insurance. And then for my other group of 5 team, I'm actually going to stick with the team I had last year, and that's Appalachian State. This team last year, this is the main competitor for Coastal Carolina. Last year, they were actually able to knock off Coastal Carolina, and they got to the championship game. So this Appalachian State team is all right. I know they play, I think, Texas A&M this year, so that'll be rough. But when you're looking for a group of 5 team, you're not exactly looking for somebody that's going to beat a bunch of Power 5, really good Power 5 teams. So I'm taking App State. This is a team that likes to get upsets going anyways, so I'm going App State.
Fair enough. Your 8th round pick, Calvin?
I am deciding between 2 teams. One team is loaded on offense, turning their in a 5 division, and the other team is past few years, but this year they might not be as good. So I'm gonna go with pick, and I'm gonna go BYU.
Okay, fair enough.
And
wait,
have they already been picked?
They have not.
What?
BYU would technically be a wild card.
That's an independent, though. So they have the might be a wild because they're not in it yet. They're not a group of 5 team, unfortunately. Yeah.
They're transferring to the Big 12. That's why I was thinking there. I'm actually not going to go them. I'm going to go Miami, Ohio. They're recent winners. Northern Illinois moved a lot of players. Barton, Legend, Rocky Lombardi. Their defense needs some work, but I think
he helped wash away all those memories of Rutgers week 1 because all you lost to Rutgers week 1. That was terrible, painful. I can't imagine that, but then you beat Michigan week 2. So
yeah,
you'll take that. Oh, 100%. I would lose to Penn State every single time we beat Michigan State.
That Rutgers game was didn't watch. Like if it wasn't a Michigan game, I wouldn't have watched it. And I'm like a near diehard Spartans, but I just it was. I knew they were gonna keep coming too. Like
I can't imagine.
Turnovers. And Mel Tucker's first game was all the hype coming from the offseason, and then Rutgers, and then playing Michigan, like very came off a huge terrible Rutgers game. You're like, okay, throw it in the towel already. Come out and
what? That was sad. Okay, anyway. Not a bit. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna take my wild card with my 8th round pick because I don't think they're gonna get back to me. I'm gonna take. Last year I took Ole Miss. This year, since they play at Arkansas, I'm gonna take the Arkansas Ravens. I think they're a pretty good team. I think they're the best value that I can get out of this Wild from here on out. Besides SEC teams, and I think outside of those, I think either them or Florida. It was between them or Florida. I'm gonna take Arkansas. I think Florida's gonna be pretty good. They're probably a better pick, but I like the Razorbacks, so I'm gonna take them with my 8th round pick. And
Anthony Richardson, his potential is
He is good.
Special, like top 5 of the draft special.
I might have to look at Florida's schedule real quick because I forgot they're on the other side of the conference.
Playing Utah to start off the year.
They got Utah at home.
Oh, that's still like,
okay.
Utah's so good, but at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So those are 2. Oh, never mind. Give me Florida. I might regret this, but their schedule's way easier.
I shouldn't have brought it.
You shouldn't have said anything. You shouldn't have said anything. No. I was debating between Florida and Arkansas. I completely forgot about Florida because they stunk last year. But
I thought you already put the pick in.
Nah.
Rubbing it in.
Well, I was debating between Florida and Arkansas. So just because I didn't look at Florida's schedule. Oh my gosh, that's stupid.
I know.
And my other group of 5 is going to be tricky. I think I'm going to go with Western Kentucky. It's either Western Kentucky or UTSA, but I don't know how good UTSA is going to be. I know Western Kentucky just lost
Bailey Zappe,
but
Zappe, whatever it is.
I feel like Western Kentucky is always solid in that conference.
Last name.
Exactly. I feel like any conference. I feel like some of the conference USA. You can pick any of them, but I feel like Western Kentucky's been like that most like solid, like consistently good team. So I probably could get better value elsewhere, but I'm gonna take Western Kentucky team. It's a conference championship.
One more group of 5, right?
Yes.
Florida. Guys are gonna think it's ridiculous, but you know, I have a Calvin pick in here somewhere. I'm team that covers the spread. Point. Last year for most whatever, like Scott Frost is one of the best coaches at coming close to. Once again, they're on the west side of the conference. It's not a great conference. Like you said, it's gonna win. Always seems to get has always had defense and never has been anything else. And then you have just a bunch of just random teams in the conference, like Illinois and stuff like that. So Nebraska has the potential to be always by losing by 1 every single game. That is I'm
true, but he's Nebraska too much. I mean, you're going to games and cover. So it's a risk. But I do like your logic.
But it is a risk I'm going to take for a 9-point.
Mitch, round out your draft. You get a shot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go and take my last wild card team here because I do have back to back again. I don't know if it's gonna be quite like last year, but I'm going to take Ole Miss. This team is getting both. Of course, they're getting. God, I forget his name from US. Jackson Dart.
The quarterback they're bringing in, and then
They got also the running back from TCU, Zach Evans. They got both Zach Evans. Yeah, so they got both Zach Evans and Jackson Dart. I think those are going to be two great additions to the offense. Of course, obviously, the key to their offense last year was Matt Corral, but I think Jackson Dart is still a very good quarterback. Comes from USC. We saw what he did with the Trojans. He looked pretty darn good. So I think he'll be pretty good with Ole Miss, especially since he also has a good running back sitting right next to him. So I think Ole Miss should be a solid team. They're probably not going to be above Alabama or Texas A&M, but this is still a good Ole Miss team, and they should still have a solid year. And now I got to take my last Group of 5 team.
I was debating between that division. That was a fun game last year, though.
I'll just pick for a second. The system they run is late tip and they run an RPO offense with style of play is going to fit that. Especially with Zach Evans, who's going to command a lot of attention as a running back. I think like surprisingly well for him to do.
For sure. So now I'm looking for my next pick here, and I really don't know what other division to pick in. And so I'm gonna go back to Mountain West. I'm taking Boise State. That blue field, there's something about that blue field. But they had a freshman quarterback last year. They had a solid season. They were pretty close. They were pretty good competing with San Diego State. They had a solid season, so I'm thinking they'll probably do closer to the same thing. But Boise had a good season last year. I think they'll have close to about the same thing, so I'll go with the Broncos in the blue field.
I am going to pick the Youngstown State University. I am extremely interviewees because Harris the third is going there, and he went to Chippewa High School this past year and put up 6 touchdowns. Michigan. So
I'll let it slide. You know what?
Doesn't matter.
Group of 5 team. You can take it.
are
They're Division 1, but they're not. They're not.
Are they
They're probably like Division. I think they're probably Division 1 AA. Because they're not Division 1A.
They're probably like FCS or something like that.
I think they're FCS 1A.
Let me see what they are.
We don't care. You can Youngstown State is yours.
You can have them for like I'm not.
They are FCS. Oh no.
That's Division 1 AA.
It's like North Dakota.
Yeah, it's Division 1, just not 1A.
Dakota State. I'm actually not gonna pick them. I was just plugging.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go BYU since I need a wild card. Okay, this system's confusing me.
All you need is one more Group of 5.
So American,
I
Mountain
need
West, Sunbelt, Conference USA.
Wait, so
Group of 5 is American, athletic conference.
I'm gonna go UTSA then.
Yes, that is a Conference USA team. Nice.
Good last year, losing my draft crush, Tariq Woolen. I wanted the Lions to draft him, but can't get everyone.
Yeah. Now I did not expect both of these teams to fall to me.
You.
I know. They have a.
Is there like a free agent pool we gotta go into after? Or is there...
No.
Unfortunately.
Actually, pretty tricky. Have the easier schedule. I'm gonna take another American team. I'm gonna take SMU. It was debating between SMU or Houston.
Yeah.
Houston plays. Let me see here. Let me pull up their schedule because their schedule is brutal. UTSA, their hardest game is probably at Maryland. They got Cincinnati at home, and they're the road game for Tulsa. I was debating between Houston.
I think Cincinnati's a tiny bit harder than Maryland. They're just two different teams.
That's true. But it's also I said that before I saw the Cincinnati schedule. Houston versus Houston's road games are UTSA, Texas Tech, Memphis, and SMU. They don't have to play Cincinnati, but they got tougher road games. So I'm going to take SMU. I
wouldn't mess with my road runners if I were you.
Because they're playing UTSA on the road. So that is it. So we'll go over Alabama. Take Cincinnati number 3. Number 4, Oklahoma 5, Virginia 6, Wisconsin 7, Florida 8, Western Kentucky 9, and SMU 10. Ohio State 1, Clemson 2, at 3, 4 is Baylor, 5 is Michigan State, Homer pick 6 is Oregon, 7 is North Carolina, 8 is Miami, 9 is Nebraska, and 10 is UTSA. Good value for that last pick. And then we've got Mitch has USC number 1, Michigan number 2, Homer pick. Georgia number 3, Oklahoma State number 4, San Diego State number 5, Miami 6, Pitt 7, Appalachian State 8, Ole Miss 9, and Boise State at 10. Comment below who you think has the best. We're going to be keeping track of this throughout the season, so very excited to see who wins this year. I think we all did honestly. I have a lot of red and blue.
My homer pick then Michigan at 2. Gonna beat them per usual since we have Mel Tucker now,
We'll see. We'll see.
I got in the second round as well, so.
I feel like that wild card spot could have been used a little bit better, but I think Michigan's a team. So it's the Nebraska pick that I'm worried about. Good or very very bad.
Stuff like this you gotta take risks,
That's true.
Playing it safe will kick you in the butt. So.
I'm sorry, Arkansas, that I shafted you, but Florida has the schedule. I might live there. Yeah, then this draft thing is like gonna come back and haunt me probably. But thank y'all for being here. Good. Got some of the over under talk. Or Calvin out for some of these other, but I hope. Peace.
Yes.